For Creamer Media's Polity, I'm Mutsabi Hwayani. Dr. Angie Mujakwana Mashabela joins me to discuss her book Surrendering and her passion to empower women and children. What inspired you to write your book Surrendering?
Okay, through my journey of life, through my personal experiences of people around me, experiences of people I have interacted with. And you know what, I have had a privilege of interacting with a whole lot of people from all walks of life, both in my professional capacity, personal capacity, and my social interactions, especially my professional capacity as a medical practitioner and a mental health professional. Surrendering was born. As a mental health practitioner, you encounter a lot of people who are going through distresses, yeah. And then, I've realized that we all go through stuff, we all go through problems, okay? And I've realized that it's how you react to problems that will determine your outcome, that will determine whether you become cemented in the situation, you rise above the situation, or you get consumed by the situation. We could be going through the same kind of situation, but our outcome won't be the same. It will depend on your attitude, on your skills, on your coping skills, on your previous experiences, on support systems, on a whole lot of things, on how your outcome will depend on those things.
Right. So the concept of surrendering, especially if you're a woman, carries with it connotations of weakness, submission, and defeat. What for you is so profound about this trait?
Okay, the title, Surrendering itself, I know that it brings about connotations of defeat, despair, throwing in the towel, giving up, and so forth. But then the concept in this book is nothing close to that. In surrendering, you acknowledge your shortfalls and limitations and your weaknesses as a human being, okay? And then you learn to choose and to identify controllable and uncontrollable situations, all right? And you start seeking and acknowledging a higher being out there that is more powerful than you, that is limitless, that is higher than what you could be going through, higher than you. And in my world, this is God. It depends on who your creator could be, who your higher being is, but then in my world, it's God, all right? And then in surrendering, you cast your cares, all right, to the creator, to the higher power out there, all right? You do your best, and then whatever you cannot deal with, you are encouraged to cast them to your higher being.
The narrative voice of your book significantly ties in both spiritual and emotional wellness as key elements of a thriving life. Why are these links so important to the message that you're trying to convey?
This is a holistic approach, okay, to our well-being, all right? As you know that a human being is a mind, body, and soul. These elements of humanity are intertwined together. They are inseparable, and they influence one another in one way or the other, all right? It is our mental or emotional and spiritual well-being that will influence the way we perceive the world around us, that will influence the way we react to situations, that will influence the way we perceive what we could be going through. All right. So in making sure that we are spiritually, emotionally, and physically healthy, then it will help us to function more positively, more effectively, both personally, occupationally, and socially as human beings.
How do you think ordinary South Africans can contribute towards sensitizing their family and societal dynamics towards more progressive values that could prevent the scourge of violence and abuse in our communities?
Mutsabi, family is the basic unit of society, okay? The society that we live in today is a reflection of the families where we come from, all right? It is in the family that life emanates, that values are taught, that attitudes are influenced, that, respect, law and order is first learned within family structures. So I think we as adults need to take responsibility to instill in our children and to live by example, to instill respect and humanity in our children and to live by example. All right. And then I think there should be more active workshops or teachings or whatever in the society and community that takes these young children, that take men, children and women and teach them to respect one another, to bring back Ubuntu, to bring back humanity. I mean, we used to support each other, we used to take care of one another previously, you know. Yes. All these levels of violence against women and children was almost unheard of, you know. Yeah. So I think Ubuntu and humanity and respect for one another and support for one another needs to be brought back into society. And charity begins at home.
Charity begins at home.
Yes.
Then how would you motivate the individual who's trying to transform their life and change their thinking while at the same time trying to make a significant impact in and around their community?
You know, change comes from within, all right? Change starts with a dream and a passion, all right? As human beings, we've got within ourselves the capacity to change and the capacity to bring transformation to the environment around us. Such individuals, I applaud such individuals who want to change themselves and change the environment around them, all right? And those individuals need to be encouraged, they need to be supported, all right? They need to be encouraged to go on, they need to be mentored, because whatever path they want to take, somebody else has walked that path before. They need to identify what is it that they can change, what is it that they cannot change, and they need to identify those people so that they can go and get some mentoring from them. And they need to keep dreaming, keep going, keep moving.
What is your assessment of the impact of the 16 days of activism against women and child abuse, and how could the campaign be improved?
It is a good concept, Mutsabi. Although we don't, I mean, out of 365 days, we only have 16 days. It should be a way of life. It should be done every day. Respect for women and children should be a way of life in our societies. So these 16 days endeavors to create awareness, and it is doing such to our societies and to our nation. All right. What I think can be improved or added to that is that I think it should be part of social responsibility for companies, all right, to actively go out there into their communities around where they are based, to actually try to re-educate, try to instill, try to empower women, children, and also men around their communities. And I think it should be actively done in churches, in community groups, in support groups, and in schools. I know in life orientation curriculum they tried to do that, but I think it should be actively done.
Every day
should be that. Yes. And I think there should be a men's day as well, where we applaud all the good men out there, because it's not every man that abuses women and children. Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Doctor, for your insights. Thank you. That was Dr. Angie Mujakwana Mashabela on dealing with life's challenges effectively.